Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, everybody, to the rematch of the season. The one that a lot of people have been looking forward to since the start, when these teams first met. First of all, we're in the finals. We're in the upper bracket finals, for that matter, in ETF2L Summer Season 2023, Season 45, or whatever it is. It is MANDEM going into these playoffs undefeated versus Witness, the ones they upset at the very start of the season. Witness obviously trying to reclaim what was once theirs, their title and all that stuff, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. I'm Cerny, joined by J-Max on the production and Beater on the microphone. How's it going, buddy?
Going real good. I've been looking forward to this so long. You know, you just know that Poppy and Thomas have been seething for an entire season. They're so mad. They want their revenge, and I'm all here for it. It's going to be one hell of a showdown. It's going to be so good to watch.
Yeah, like this was a matchup people have been looking forward to for so long after MANDEM have somehow miraculously, I think it was even week 1, managed to upset the standing champions of Witness. Probably nobody really saw that coming, to be fair, and now MANDEM have proven themselves to be an extraordinary team for that matter. Not only did they beat Witness, they beat everybody the entire season. They barely dropped rounds, let alone a map, so they have just been utterly dominant. And to be honest, before we get any further talking about them, play that hype video again. Why not? We've got it anyway.
And we're back. That was a nice little hype video made by AMS. Definitely go check out his YouTube channel. Really cool video. And we're showing the stats now on the screen. You can see it's Pickles, Fancy, Haunts, KN, Balder, and Inzo. And this roster has just been absolutely tearing through the entire season, as you mentioned, Cerny. And if there's an all-star in this roster, it's almost certainly Balder. He has been fragging out all season, 27 kills, basically. Almost like a 2-to-1 KD ratio. Really nuts. Just playing the pocket scout role to absolute perfection.
He's everything everybody's made him out to be, right? Even in prior seasons before he entered Prem last season, everybody was always like, how come this guy has been playing Div 1 or even lower divs for so long? He's so unbelievably good, and it's shown. I mean, we even have the head-to-head with his counterpart on Witness here, Thomas, who has been considered to be the primo exemplary pocket scout in European TF2 for the longest time. And just looking at these numbers, sure, Thomas has an edge in almost every category, but it is such a minor difference between the these two players, between the stats. Insane, considering one of these guys has only been playing in Prem for 2 seasons.
Yeah, he was always good on the Swedish teams, but I don't think anyone expected him to just completely take the jump up in such stride that he's done. It's very, very impressive. And there's basically no category where Thomas is not slightly ahead, but it's by like half a percentage point for all of them, something like that. So it is absolutely insane. The mind-blowing stat to me is that they're both just almost at 300 DPM on every map.
That's just absurd. As a scout, no less. That's insane.
That used to just not be possible. Like you saw it on Viaduct and Cough maps, and every once in a blue moon you get a scout having like 300 something DPM. But to average it across an entire season, that is so different. You have to imagine these guys have been in some really slow stalemates on Snakewater where they did nothing, and they still have 300 DPM average. That's crazy.
Yeah. It is absurd how good these two players are. If we have time before we have to go into the actual game, we also have a video. I don't know if we've shown it on stream at all for Witness.
Not yet, no.
So we could just take a quick look at that one. Let's do it.
All right, we're taking the chance. They're not going to start on time. It's fine. We'll show it. That was a video hyping up Witness Gaming, the reigning champs of Europe, been the best team in such a long time now. It's almost the most impressive part about MANDEM winning is not that they got the perfect season, but that they prevented Witness Gaming from having a perfect season. We're looking at the roster here. Auto on Medic, relatively newcomer in the roster. Domo on Demo Man. Celendis and Poppy, absolutely fearsome soldier combo duo. And we got Ixie, who was sort of a new addition to the team that at least I questioned quite a bit, but he has shown himself to be absolutely incredible, especially in clutch situations. And then, of course, we were talking about Thomas earlier. Just incredible stuff, Cerny.
Yeah, arguably the best scout in European TF2 for the time being. However, as this night may progress and as these playoffs progress, that title could be in peril. Balder is itching for that spot a little bit, but either way, a juggernaut of a team. The fact that they lost any match at all is already just an absolute miracle, right? Nobody probably would have expected them to lose anything, let alone to MANDEM. A team that was, well, pretty much cobbled together completely new this season, right? They have a bunch of talent on that team, but compared to the mainstays on this team, these guys have been together for so long, right? You'd expect them to just absolutely have that one in the bag, and yet here we are. Whatever excuses you can make for it or whatever, they are now, in some ways, to a lot of people, perhaps the underdogs headed into this matchup.
See, that's why I actually disagree with you. I don't know what you are expecting, but I'm kind of expecting Witness Gaming to just up themselves and take care of business here and win this. I'm pretty sure it's going to be some pretty close maps. I'm expecting like a 4-2 score kind of stuff here on Gullywash, but I'm expecting Witness Gaming to take it. But am I just being a negative Nancy here, Sony? Is that what you're saying?
I don't know. It's all for the storyline at the end of the day. That's what matters, right? Either way, we are going to be heading into Gullywash first. And as much as we'd like to do analysis and all that stuff about who is going to be the standout player here, you've got about 20 seconds to come up with something, Beaters, so hurry up.
Yeah, it's let's hope these guys made some real solid plans. You know, if you want to take down Witness Gaming, you need to have not just one plan, but when Witness Gaming adjusts to your strategies, you need to adjust yourself and come up and show them something even newer. And of course, you also don't want to burn everything. This is only the upper bracket final. So whoever wins this goes into the grand finals, and then the loser will have to face off against Forfence for a second chance to get into the grand finals. But we are live here. Fast ball out here from Hans. Doesn't get onto Domo though. He's gonna run off and get some heals.
He does live for the time being, though, so the mid is still not just over from MANDEM, but he is cut out for the time being as his counterpart in KN tries to get a little bit of ground as well, but nobody's just giving it up just yet. Pickles is actually going to be the first to fall as Silentis has just gone up for the drop down. That is a crucial frag, and everything falls at the tail end of that, even if they lose Domo on their own side, and Balder is still skulking behind a little bit. Fancy as well below. If they can keep auto safe here, there should be no problems at all. Fancy is in a tough spot to make anything happen, but Balder is on the flank, and now Fancy has turned around.
Yeah, Fancy actually hit a lot of damage onto auto there. I was so sure that wasn't ever going to happen because Fancy didn't have enough health to even jump or anything. Balder was pretty weak as well. He had to run so far behind to even do anything. But they actually managed to make at least me sweat a little bit. Maybe Otto is completely cool. That's what he tends to do. If there's any person in the world that I trust to not just pop it unnecessarily, it's Otto. He has popped it into this last point though. Gonna put a scout onto the point, but Fancy is still down there. They used a lot of time to take down the sentry gun journey. This is a pretty slow push.
Yeah, they're not really accomplishing much at all. They even lost Silentis as well, and that's all she wrote. They got the sentry gun, they got absolutely no positioning, no other frags whatsoever. There was even a heavy on the side of MANDEM to try and make to make that even better. So they are done with that push, and now there's a counter aggression coming out of MANDEM immediately onto this top river side here. They are gonna try to get this back out onto second, and well, Witness, they have a plan. They have Silentis on Spy, and he's slipped him behind already. If they don't get the second cap down soon, Sil is gonna have a back cap going here. Unfortunately,
he's gonna try to block. They need to go on so fast.
It's not happening. Close, but no cigar. Unfortunately, they couldn't quite block the second in time, and now they know that there is a little rat behind, and he's already been spotted as well. Even feeds a saw into Piggles. All right, well, there you go.
Piggles, he didn't get any Uber off of it though because he was disguised. I've always hated that as a medic. I feel like if I figure out you're this guy, you still get the Uber, but oh well. He still gets the kill off of him. That's something at least. You don't want to leave this behind. The force out there, KN gets in onto Otto, makes him pop the Uber. Gonna have to run everyone else out. They do it. Even Hans makes it out. He was stuck behind, but just does a nice, clean, high jump. He's out of there. And now all of a sudden it's Pickle with the Uber ad again, and he's already in position to use it. They do need to make sure that they don't let anyone behind. Ix is in the prime position here to shut a door with a soldier body as well to try and slip behind.
Yeah, they're not gonna let that happen though. Hans has that on lockdown. The rest of the team has rotated up above as well. They're actually just Uber and try to get these Witness players caught, but they're already out and have slipped in behind as well. They find Boulder, who's a bit extended. KN trying to maybe buy some time here and choke as Scientist just goes high, trying to pressure these players back as best he can. Inzo's gonna go down. There goes KN as well. The rest of MANDEM are licking their wounds on the way back to last. And yeah, Otto was feeling no aggression for a long time either. Hans tries to salvage something, can't do it either. 2 players left to try and hold last with Boulder up on the sniper, seeing if he can do something. Wait, what? Oh my god.
It might not be enough still. There's so much pressure on the point. Scouts on it still. Okay. Yeah, it's not quite enough. That's the last one you want to have die on 99% Uber there.
Yeah, that's a blood spike, probably blood pressure spiking just for a second there. I didn't see that coming. Okay, well, it's good enough though. Witness get their first round here, and well, that was quick as well. It was only 4 minutes, so they're looking on form.
Yeah, there was a lot of back and forth pushing action there. Looks like there's going to be no fast rollout this time around. It's just going to be demos spamming sticky. So the Haunt is actually just holding really far back, making sure that we don't have any infiltrators coming up out of that drop down once again. So this is in a position to kind of walk in there and do it again, but he hasn't made his way in yet. He's doing it now, but he's being forced back.
Yeah, he's not going to have that happen. He's going to try to settle for something else. Gets blocked by Inzo from jumping. Has to settle for killing him instead. Finally, some counter push coming out of Hans as well. He's going to land on nothing but Tomas before getting cleaned up. So the frags are seemingly falling in Witness's favor for the time being. KN is extended and left for dead, as well as Pickles and Fancy make a run for it. And Ixie hot on the chase as well. Don't want to let those guys get away for free. But they will get out to last. They will have an Uber to hold with this time. So, hey, if they managed to hold last time, this time it should be even easier.
Yeah, and it's kind of incredible just how much ruckus Celentis manages to cause there. Even when they're holding him back, like they just spent an entire soldier just waiting for him at the drop down. He sees it, doesn't go in, just tries to do a jump in, 2 shots a scout, and then just jumps in through the drop down anyway. Thomas has snuck his way in here on Spy. There's a pirate, but he clearly doesn't. Aldo's AFK, man. He is not even moving.
Oh, he's already decloaked as well. He's just gonna settle for the NG stab. Fair enough. Nobody, the Pales was not in sight to be stabbed. He was gonna try to make use of that spy play while he could. And, well, getting rid of the sentry opens up the rest of his team potentially. That being said, unfortunately, Tomo and Sil and now Ixie have also died, trying to, I guess, sack for something. So that didn't quite go the way Witness wanted, probably. The distraction didn't quite work out. Thomas didn't get what he wanted, so they just, yeah, lose second and have to back out to mid at the very least. No team has to lose their Uber for this for the time being.
Yeah, it got a little messy there for Witness Gaming, but the fact that they managed to walk out of there with their medic and their demo man alive, that's pretty much as you can hope for in a bad situation like this. It's a good way to salvage it. They have a sniper now, Ixie. Looks like they are just really keen on these off classes on Witness Gaming so far on this map. Gullywash is a pretty decent sniper map. This big door is really nice for playing as a sniper. Whenever anyone just peeks out for a little bit, you can get into them. And of course, you can always sneak a scout in through the big door, you know, because the sniper has sort of shooed everyone off. You don't know what's inside the door, but right now, if a scout, like if Tona decides to run in through this door, nobody's going to know from MANDEM.
Yeah, it's going to be hard for them to tell. They can maybe see somebody slipping in that door and opening up and stuff, but it's going to be tough for them to block it in any way. And there's so much pressure coming out of Witness in this big door. They really want to make some space here for Ixie to get some sort of angle, get some sort of headshot rung off. Obviously, MANDEM are giving them just enough space so they can do that, but not enough peeking or anything like that they would have to worry about getting headshot. And Hans has locked down lobby as well, making sure nobody's going to be cheeky with that. So Witness have realized that maybe they need to do something different. Sil and Thomas actually now slip into lobby. Never mind, Hans has backed off, and now suddenly there's 2 players behind, and there's a headshot rung off onto Boulder. He does live, but that's the crucial one you want to see out of Ixie. That might open things up ever so slightly. Sil is up on top of water. So, what is he doing up there, man? He's up on the river.
He's just waiting for anyone to just back off into him. Looks like Hans. Oh, he sniffed him out. I don't know if they knew about it or not, but they played it out really cool if they didn't know about it.
Well, turns out that didn't quite work out. Unfortunately, Sil couldn't accomplish anything with his little flank play. Hans tries to counter-sack, just gets ethered by Ixie's body shot, and there you go, we're back to equal. Now they can actually try to make use of this sniper again. Maybe a little bit better peeking with less spam on the door, perhaps. Another headshot rung off, and the Ubers are actually just going to be played here.
Oh, they dropped Fancy from the Uber, though.
Oh, no. That's a disaster.
Thomas is so good with these Uber exchanges, and this is just a small example of it here. Just immediately sniffs out that Fancy doesn't have the medic right next to him, just picks him off in 3 nice shots, takes him down. And that's going to be enough to make everyone just back off here, just hold. And we have a soldier in water already. This could really just warp the entire defense out of position if he decides to go for some sort of play. You know, he can just step on the points, maybe spam up at haunts.
Yeah, it's going beautiful actually. They're spamming haunts off the rim. Pappy immediately steps on the point, gets so much cap time already. So much distraction out of that alone. Haunts has to go back into spawn as well. The sentry has been taken down. They still have the sniper of Ixi as well. He has not yet been killed or decided to backspawn or anything like that. And I guess they're just going to continue to try to make that work. At the end of the day, the Ubers are still both being built, so it's not like they want to go in just yet. And well, I guess that buys a little bit of time for MANDEM to set up their defenses, but it's certainly been stalled already. The sentry is still just level 1. It's still being built. Ixi trying to get a deep angle as well.
2 shots on the point.
What?
That's crazy.
Okay. Okay. He just almost gets away with it too. Like, look at that cap time, man.
Yeah. Like, there was a little bit of cap time on it to begin with, so just the fact that you can do that kind of stuff is so scary. And I'm kind of assuming that Poppy might have the pain train on or something like that. But I didn't actually check. But we have another soldier in water. He's just pressuring in there. And they take down the sentry gun now. That means that you are all of a sudden open for soldiers going in. Ixi! Oh my god, he gets a shot. He gets on the awning and hits him immediately.
The perfect amount of chaos coming out of Witness's play here. It was so beautiful. You have the soldier pressuring the point, which forces the pyro back. So Balder was down there for the longest time. He's being spread thin. Suddenly the sentry goes down. He tries to go back on the high ground to air blast, but they're just being spread thin on MANDEM. They don't know what to respond with. Suddenly Ixi gets the peek he wants. Boom, Piggles is dead. Another round on the board for Witness. They are in control of this game right now.
Yeah, that was a very slow and safe and steady approach there by Witness Gaming. It worked out really well for them. Looks like all the soldiers have been just in the skybox right now and just landing on top of each other. And they're doing a ton of damage. They bought so much space around. You can see Piggles is on the enemy side. Ooh. He's actually on the nibble right now. But okay, I was going to say he wasn't dead, but he's now also dead. But that was like a pretty good mid there. Very aggressive mid coming out of MANDEM.
And it worked for them. They did lose Piggles at the end of the day, so Otto is going to have a slight bit of an ad to work with. Pappy can't really salvage much on second either, so yeah, they are indeed going to be able to perhaps get the second point for MANDEM here. They do have to wait a little bit for their spawners to actually make their way forward, and Inzo, a bit eager perhaps. We're not expecting those Witness players to immediately come flooding out here, but surely we're going to see some MANDEM aggression here. They find Dome immediately, actually fancy some nice sticky traps, manage to catch off his counterpart there, and that is all it takes for them to grab the second point. Grabbing Solentis as a little bonus snack is just a little bit extra on that, and we could be looking at a MANDEM last push here very soon as well if they keep up this momentum.
Balder's in the water. He's putting time on it already. He has to be dealt with immediately. Heavy goes down. There's a lot of pressure right now. This soldier's on the point now. Can he actually get it? No, not quite, but so many players are just on the point. These pipes are just doing so much damage. One sticky on the point is basically all it's going to take. He's not actually using reloading stickies, and they're actually going to get through and pop it. Solentis, he's going to stand strong on this point. They need respawn. It's going to be 3 seconds here, Cerny.
3 seconds. Is that long enough for the Uber to buy time, though? As it comes at the other side, Fancy has feasting. He can just get anybody he wants on this point here. Unfortunately, as his Uber fades, though, he's gonna have to back off a little bit as reinforcements come in. Piggles gets taken down. Fancy and Balder die as well. So much cap time, but they can't quite round it out. However, players are not healthy on the side of Witness either.
Double.
Oh, no, Hans is there to try and back it up. And he get it, though. Is Ixi gonna get the kill? Will Hans do it? No. Just not quite enough. God, what a close hold, though.
Inso's hiding. I think he's been spotted. Okay, he might just go for the medic instead.
He probably could have gone for it. There were no respawners, but I guess he didn't know, and it looks like we're into a pause.
Yeah. Man, this is this is so chaotic right now. I love that both teams are really willing to push and play off of very tiny advantages there. That was I really wanted Fancy to just reload stickies on that last boot. I'm pretty sure they would have gotten that if he would have just done that. But yeah, he trusted his pipes and paid for it, and then we just had 2 of those weird Ubers where it was just a demo man Uber. Those are usually really bad when it's just a solo demo man trying to kill everything. But it worked out a little bit just because he was pushing the point, so everyone had to stand on the point, so he did more damage than normal. But then it was just immediately countered by a solo soldier Uber who also just kind of had to stand there and couldn't really chase much or do enough damage to get killed. So it was just stall after stall after stall.
Well, let's see how. What do you like? Look at the situation right now. Obviously, this isn't where the pause happened because delay and all that stuff.
Yes.
What is the situation that Witness find themselves in right now? Otto is in no man's land. Lil bro is absolutely dead, right? Look at this. He's got Balder staring him down. There's already a sticky in the air right in front of him. Fancy is gonna immediately deal a nice, juicy, like 90 damage to him as soon as he tries to walk through that shutter door. I have a feeling, as we have been told that Witness called this pause, that either somebody crashed during this next 90 seconds, or that they at least lose this round. I would not be surprised.
Yeah, I'm not going to metagame. He actually does manage to get out.
Okay.
Inso's still in behind. He can absolutely pick him off. No, Domo's actually going to deal with him. So he made it out alive there, but it was definitely a bit of an overextension. So he should count his lucky stars that he managed to make it out alive there. Actually, a scout. I think Ixie got just long-range arrow there. Pickles just spamming them down. They're going to send the sword into the skybox now. Can he land on Pickles? No. Immediately Boulder just eats him alive.
And still trying to do the same, can't quite follow it up either. They have to settle for the kill onto Boulder K, and then, okay, finally Ixie gets the cleanup onto Pickles as well. Fancy's still in it together with Hans, and Inzo has once again slipped in behind. He's gonna get onto Otto here, gets that frag easily, even if he has to now contend with, well, two of the best scouts staring him down.
Oh my god,
well,
look how
another
they're
pause.
just standing there, shoulder to shoulder, so menacing. One of them got an arrow in the side of his head.
What do you do in this situation? If you're staring down this absolute squadron, what do you do?
I don't know, what do you do against the Manco brothers there? One of them is the rich brother with the golden gun. The other one has like a skull prize on it. That's great. It's fine. I mean, I know. Also, they're slightly buffed, or 120 HP on Tomas versus 65 on Inzo. So there's no way, right? But you just hit one collateral where you just hit both of them perfectly with every single shot, and you have perfect movement. Inzo's got this, man. No problem.
If only we knew their ammo counts right now. Like, imagine Ixie and Thomas both have, like, nothing loaded, and Inzo is full on. Well, I guess we'll see. Never mind, he gets ethered immediately, sent into the Shadow Realm.
That's not surprising. Yeah, not surprising at all, is it?
Valiant effort, I suppose. We got that, at least, and yeah, it looks like Witness are going to be able to retake mid off the back of that. I mean, all of MANDEM died. They're finally making their way back forward. Hans actually slips in through lower, and KN follows up on point pressure as well, so they're not going to let a Witness just cap this off for free. They're going to pressure them all the way back to second again. There you go.
Yeah, Pickle still with a nice little ad. Gullywash is definitely one of those maps where you can push on a small advantage. You know, if you go into big door and they don't quite realize and they try to escape out through top or something, yeah, you can just catch out the medic and they die. So you do need to be very careful with your auto here, even though it's only a 30% disadvantage. This is where the pause happens. This is actually pretty good because it's not at a round end. I don't see anyone like dropping, specifically a medic dropping. That's usually the biggest deal. So, not sure exactly what happened there, but
maybe lag. We know that Otto has had some internet troubles in the past, so maybe his internet was lagging again or something like that. It wouldn't surprise me. It certainly happened. Hans slips in through lobby, and Inzo follows him up as well. They find Sil and Tomas for that matter. But quite a nice little couple of frags there. They're going to Uber in as well. It's going to be a bit better for Otto, but he does have to flash a little bit more.
Inzo comes in with the flank as well. That picks off another guy. Hans will it get picked off here, but 3 players down there on Witness. That was just such a beautiful infiltration there from Balder. Or was it Inzo and
it was Inzo and Hans. Inzo and Hans.
Yeah, really great job there on the flank. That's another pause there. Oh, they both have Uber. Is that I think that was a mistake. I think maybe the Uber plugin is broken or something like that. But they both have it. Well, they decide to just play on.
They just fast forwarded this last hold basically, because let's be honest, this was probably what it was going to go to perhaps anyway, and oh well, Balder's going to pay with his life being a little bit too extended. Inzo just barely escapes as well before potentially being caught, so yeah, MANDEM are going to have to back off for the time being, but both teams do have the Ubers, and Witness are certainly not going to be willing to just push out of last, let alone on Gullywash. With only one pick, that's not going to happen. They're going to be content holding that. They are, at the end of the day, up 2 rounds. If they want to play for the round reset here, now's the time to do it.
Yeah, that doesn't hurt them at all. This is completely fine. They can hold pretty much forever. But so far, this has been a pretty quick game. I don't think they should really be thinking in those lines. both teams have shown that they're really good at putting on pressure. Like the reason we're in this situation to begin with is we have a third pause. Just go ahead and count them, folks. But yeah.
It's Witness again. Okay, so like somebody's internet must be absolutely shitting it right now. Like there's
Oh, it's Thomas's internet. Okay. All right, I'm getting like scary warning overflow CC kind of errors as well. I always get nervous when I see those white little boxes that type something out and it has error in front of it. Like that's scary looking in TF2. You know, I'm expecting my game to fold in on itself and just exit reality at some point.
No, it's always possible, I suppose. It doesn't look like there's going to be that long of a pause, though, and Witness can't keep getting away with it forever. Eventually, they'll just have to man up and live with the fact that somebody's internet is just going to suck today. They can't keep doing these pauses, because I'm pretty sure MANDEM are just going to be like, no, screw you, we're not going to pause anymore. You've used up all your allocated pause time, so there we go, we're back in it immediately. That was not a long one at the very least, but somebody's got to get better internet here, man. I get it, okay, I know the feeling, but still.
Oh, Hans and Inzo on it again. They take down Silentis in water. So now, once again, we are in this situation where they could absolutely cause some ruckus. There's a Sentry and a Pyro holding strong, but they're trying to get that down, but Domo with the Sticky Trap shuts down the pressure. Sentry Gun will pay for it, but a Sentry Gun is not that important. It can be rebuilt. We have the technology. Looks like they're not even going to bother. Maybe they're going to put on some pressure. No, Ixie, he's got the toolkit ready. He's just rebuilding it now. Gonna push forward with a sniper, though.
Yeah, Thomas is gonna try to peek a little bit deeper here on River, seeing if he can get a nice little shot. And you know what? Settling for a soldier kill on KN is certainly something. And Pickles is basically caught in a rough spot. He has to stand there if he wants to be safe. Unfortunately for Thomas, though, he does have to back up with all the pressure coming in as well. Can't really commit to that too much longer. Gonna go back and just try to hold last once more. Just slowing down MANDEM is good enough for them as well. They've wasted another minute at this point off of their timer. Only a little under 3 minutes left to hold this, and they're back into a mid-fight immediately without even having to fight for a second point or anything like that. So they're definitely content with just holding here. It's going to be on MANDEM to make the play. Unfortunately, Balder walks into a little sticky trap, is going to be taken care of immediately, and that's another probably at least 10 seconds wasted for MANDEM.
Yeah, it's getting pretty annoying here. This is where the other pause came in. And we are live back again. Someone actually dropped this time around. Looks like it's going to be Thomas. At least it wasn't Ixie who was building the Sentry Gun. It always sucks to have all your hard work it's getting deleted like that. But yeah, Thomas, that's not that important that he dropped out of the game right here. So we're cool. Looks like Inzo's going to jump into water once again. Been having pretty good success down there, but so far he hasn't been able to really link up with the rest of his team to make use of the distraction down there to the most of the team's ability. Right now, it looks like they're content to just spam out the Sentry Gun really hard.
Yeah, they're trying their best at the very least. Inzo's fighting Silentis in the meantime in the low ground here, and he does actually win it as well. Hans is meanwhile slipped into water as well to help out his scout buddy here for the time being. Didn't even need the help though. Now we've got Thomas and Pappy trying to lock down this point. That's going to spread Witness a little thin here. Just losing one player on the last hold is so crucial when you're trying to hold. It's going to make it so much harder for you to really get everything on lockdown. Unfortunately for MANDEM though, they don't capitalize on top of it before Sil respawns, so they're back to square one, but they still have Inzo and water, nobody on the point either to protect it. If he wanted to right now, he very much could do a little bit of point pressure, but I think MANDEM are fiending for something a little bit different here. They want to get a little bit more than just a bit of point pressure out of this, and right now I think that starts with taking down that Sentry, which they're really trying to do.
Yeah, it's a pretty good job right now where Thomas just reflect as much as he can, and then he just takes one step back into the dispenser, gets full ammo, and he can do it basically infinitely. And they're also just holding back Inzo. Inzo again, just gonna bully Silentis on this point. Looks like he's actually gonna lose this time around. Just missed a few shots there at the very end of that engagement. And yeah, they're just not able to crack this nut. It's a very strong setup here. They're just gonna Uber in. There's 30 seconds remaining right now. But, they're getting juggled so hard. They don't even get the Sentry Gun.
Yeah, no, Thomas just completely holds him at bay. They barely make it through the shuttered door with that Pyro right-clicking him, and that is an absolutely wasted exchange. Obviously, Witness don't even try to chase it. They know if they just hold for 15 more seconds, there's nothing to fear, and MANDEM are probably just going to try to push their way into this point as best as they can. They have both of them again, Hans and Inzo, the dynamic duo, trying to make the play for the point here. Unfortunately, they don't quite fight the kill onto Sil first, and that's going to be it. We're going to a round reset and another mid-fight.
Very strong hold there from Witness Gaming. MANDEM, it really just seemed like they would win this duel in water, and then they just didn't quite know what to do with it. They couldn't overcome the Sentrygun and the Pyro just holding there. It's very interesting how Witness Gaming seemed to be able to do that, and then get the sniper pick, obviously. But yeah, MANDEM not quite able to do so. Another mid-fight 30. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, not quite committing to the off-classes just yet for MANDEM. Let's see if they change it up a little bit after this mid-fight. Both of the soldiers going, trying to bomb in deep. Hans gets taken down immediately though, and KN does slip in behind, but is it gonna do much when Inzo has also died and the rest of the team has already backed away? Well, that is a last mid-fight for the time being. They do still have KN in behind. It very much looks like Witness are much aware of that possibility, that threat coming to perhaps claim an innocent life that they wouldn't want to lose. But for the time being, he's just kind of out of this fight. Witness are keeping up the pressure on second already, and possibly even trying to go into last if they want to continue this. Inzo, in the meantime, has switched to sniper, so they are finally committing some off classes on the side of MANDEM. Let's see if that actually accomplishes anything, as KN gets taken down on mid by an Ixie who is left behind. So this is going to be on MANDEM to try and hold this somehow, with now a soldier missing as well. Witness have been good at these conversions, so this is scary for them to be in. Sil's already in deep with a bomb. Doesn't quite get anything though. Okay.
Yeah, it's always a sad day when you're a soldier and you jump into a pyro trying to get to the medic. It's a real uphill battle. It's very, very difficult to make something work. Looks like they're going to run Ixie into water, see if they can just at least pull these guys out of position. The Sentrygun is not up yet, so it is pretty easy to spam it down so far. It's a pretty good job right now from the Pyro, just reflecting as much as you can, but they just give up. They're not going to set up Sentrygun, not even going to run a heavy. Just the Pyro is enough, it seems. I'm kind of surprised. Yeah.
Oh no, there's the heavy. Inzo's decided, wait a minute, I should be doing something different here. This is a last hold.
Yeah.
He's realized he should at least have something to defend with, and I guess the heavy is going to be the one. They trust the human aim more than they trust the service-side Senshi aimbot at the end of the day, so well, we'll see how that works for them. Witness are here to convert around, perhaps. Even if they don't, they have all the time in the world. They can take as long as they'd like here. They have complete control over what happens at the end of the day. If they get a single frag here, like onto Hans, who's quite low right now, trying to just desperately live, and does manage to escape for the time being, they won't be able to just go in for free, but he was cutting it close, yeah.
Yeah, alright. It's some pretty good pressure. They have a lot of time to work with Witness, but they do still want to get another round. Because if there's a round reset, there's still plenty of time to lose 2 rounds. So the real optimal play right now would be to wait, like just put on a ton of pressure, and then in 2 minutes they get a lucky break, and then they win the 3rd round, and it's basically impossible to come back from MANDEM. But they do need that 3rd round to make it in. So there's Soldier in water. He's gonna just wait it out. Looks like Ixie also in position down there, ready to get onto the point. We have a soldier on the left right now. It's KN standing up there, just eating some random spam from the balcony. It's so annoying standing up there. You know, you have to move around because you're gonna get spammed from both angles. And Hans actually goes down. And
yeah, Sil decides to just jump in from river and settles for bombing Hans. Pappy slips in as well, managed to take down Inzo, who was trying to snipe from spawn. Not really many angles you can get back there, but I guess
point, though.
You gotta respect the ambition. Thomas slips onto the point as well. Gets the force out of Piggles with that as well. Just trying to protect the point. I mean, end of the day, there's not gonna be immediate pressure out of Witness because they did lose almost everybody for that. They only have their scouts right now, but they did keep that Uber. So this is now disaster time. Crisis management for MANDEM. They have to put up a miracle hold here, buddy. This is not gonna look good for them. If they... Inzo has to hit the headshot of his life somehow onto Otto.
Yeah, that bullet better be able to curve around corners, but because I don't think Otto's gonna walk out there. Yeah, did Pickles actually have to pop on that last push?
I don't know.
I don't feel like he did, but he didn't know where all the stickies was, so he just popped it to be safe. Fancy's still in water. He hasn't been pushed out or anything. But Witness Gaming, they've taken this right side. They're trying to just mow everyone back into spawn. Hans and Fancy are still in water, just holding the strong down there. Finally, they're getting pressured quite a bit. KN's gonna get taken down. Pyro now is down there as well, doing his best, but he's just getting spammed out so hard. Eventually, everyone's just falling. Fancy better hit all the stickies in all the world. Not gonna happen. 3-0, and this is gonna be real difficult for MANDEM.
Yeah, they have to play out of their minds now. Not only do they turn the tides of this game, which, you know, the momentum is very much in Witness's favor right now, and they are in control of the pace of the game. but not only do they have to play out of their minds, they have to somehow convert 3 rounds in 5.5 minutes, which is possible, but requires a lot of mental fortitude, and we'll see if MANDEM have it in this next mid fight, as Hans gets in deep of a fast rollout, trying to cut off Domo from the rest of his team as Pappy bombs in to counter a little bit of aggression onto the combo, and, well, Pickles gets dropped onto the low ground, where Syl is just there to pick him up for the final kill, and even if you're gonna win the mid on positioning now, you do not have the healing, you do not have anything to push off of with an Uber or something like that afterwards, and Witness are almost certainly gonna come back into this midpoint immediately as soon as you cap it as well, so you're gonna have to really pull off a magic trick here if you're MANDEM.
Yeah, the soldier actually gonna jump into big door, just take down Inso. Okay, he can jump into choke as well and just help his team out. It looks like he's gonna go for the demo man. Not quite gonna get it here. Silentis is gonna be a distraction though. Pappy's gonna come in, just clean him up. Demo man's caught in, Fancy is dead. This is so good. They didn't even have to pop Uber there. This is actually a nightmare scenario for MANDEM. Just the fact that they didn't get the enemy medic on this mid while losing their own, that just slows them down so much. Now Witness Gaming, they're just gonna slowly trot forward here, trying to cap out this point, and you know, at that point they can do whatever they want, and they're basically going to win. As long as they don't drop auto and have everyone disconnect and roll all the way back to last because they don't know the map anymore or something, they're gonna be good.
Yeah, there's got to be some crazy stuff going on if you still want to have MANDEM to win at that point. That being said, we do have an Uber ready for them as well, and they definitely want to get out on the second point. They know that they're up against the clock here. They're not just playing against the 6 players on Witness at this point, they're also playing against time. Time itself, which cannot be stopped and can only be delayed further, and any second that is delayed is bad for them. So they're going to Uber in, see if they can force a bit of an exchange here. Balder is just going to solo this as best he can, obviously, but, well, Auto keeps it solo on the demo as well, so it's going to be in a post-super fight, seeing how they can mix up and happen. Pickles is surrounded on all fronts. So much aggression onto that medic, immediately cleans that up. No healing now for the side of MANDEM, and they are just barely finding any counter-aggression onto these Witness players at all, matter of fact.
Yeah, Witness Gaming, they're so strong with this defensive play, just forcing MANDEM to walk into them. Just Thomas cleaning everyone up. No one get close to my medic, please. Just get out of here. Actually, okay, finally they're just gonna ignore him and go all the way to last. Looks like, okay, they come back. Just go like, I think Otto was just screaming at them in Mumble to get back to him there. But yeah, we got a heavy on a medic and water. This is some real clown stuff. Yeah, that's not gonna be able to do it. 4-0, that's gonna make it official. MANDEM can no longer hold on or come back in this map, and that's gonna be 1-0 here for Witness Gaming, and we have 3 minutes of dead time to keep ourselves company.
Isn't that beautiful? Don't you love to see that? A wise man once said, I don't know who it was, but Syl doesn't lose Gullywash. So that is certainly, that at least right now, it is being upheld for the time being, certainly. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know who picked what, but I would not be surprised if this was at the end of the day Witness's map pick for Gullywash. Although, you know, they probably got first pick. I wouldn't be surprised now that I think about it. You know, higher seed, yada yada, you get to choose whether you pick or ban first. There's a whole thing, like, theory about whether picking first is better, right? Like, most people agree that banning first is better because you can get rid of something or something. Yeah. I think there's, like, a game theory about that. So sure, MANDEM being the higher seed would have had the choice of that, and they probably made the choice to ban first, yada yada. That sort of dealio.
Yeah, Witness Gaming is very difficult to pick ban against though, because they are pretty good on cough maps. So you kind of have to ban those maybe. But
yeah, that's the next thing. We're playing Bagel next. I wouldn't be surprised if MANDEM picked that, but I suppose maybe they got some secret sauce against Witness for that. I don't know.
Yeah, see, like the problem with that is that you can't even do the viaduct thing where you have it's actually gonna be 5-0 here. We weren't really paying attention to the last one.
KN manages to ring off one nice headshot at the very tail end onto Auto just for the logs, I suppose, but it literally does not matter at all. We weren't even paying attention to that game. It was already a done deal regardless, so Witness are gonna take Gullywash as the first map, and we're gonna head into Bagel for the next one. Well, well.
Yeah, let's get some good old stats up in this and see what's going on. I can see Poppy was doing top damage. His bombs on mid were absolutely insane. They did so much damage, and then like Cylinder was just a shock in the water, you know, in the low ground. It came up at the exact right time to get the kills. And oh yeah, Thomas 28-9, just beastly performance. Whereas Balder, 17 and 14, not bad either. But yeah,
considering they got rolled, basically, that is still a very good performance. So
KN 2 and 17. That's an oof. That's an oof.
Rough game, buddy. Rough game out there. I'm sure he did a lot with those 17 lives. I mean, maybe bit more damage than Inzo, I guess. I suppose there's a cope for you.
Takes me back to the good old 4 and 25 days. I forget who it was that got that. But no, that was not Sideshow. No, it was like an actual like Russian soldier. Yeah, it was an actual pocket soldier that I can't remember the name of. Maybe it will come to me later. But yeah, Domo did a really good job of. It felt like whenever they would put on any kind of pressure, a lot of the time Domo would just have a sneaky sticky trap and take them down. But just some big old brain plays just neutering the team.
It happened quite a lot. I mean, Fancy had a couple of those as well, but Domo just had more of them. It's the sheer quantity, I think, of the plays that ended up working out for Witness. Piggles dropping ones obviously don't help either. It's a surprise, actually, to see Piggles die in the double digits in a match, because I don't think I've seen him do that all season.
Yeah, it's not even because he was running permacrits or anything.
Yeah,
he just died.
I thought this guy was invincible. I thought he gets away every time, but I suppose Witness has his number right now, and they're not letting him get away with it for free for the time being. So, yeah, they gotta adjust here. MANDEM are not looking to the form they have been for the regular season right now. Maybe it's just because Witness have stepped up immensely. Obviously, that's also possible. At the end of the day, maybe that first week was just a toss-up. It was just a fluke. But MANDEM want to prove that it was not a fluke, right? So they got to really step up their game now on Bagel, which is going to be a tough story, because going up against Witness on a King of the Hill map is a death sentence, I would argue. At least a lot of people would probably agree.
At least if Tomaz is just feeling it as much as he was on this first map, it can get real difficult. Viaduct, you can do weird stuff with having snipers and like switch maybe one of your soldiers off the scout, or just run two soldiers and a sniper. Like you can switch it up a little bit. Whereas on Bagel, you can't really do that. I've yet to see anyone successfully come up with a way to play sniper on Bagel. It doesn't really seem viable. You have to change directions and hold both sides and that kind of stuff. There's just too much movement involved for a sniper to really be good, and the sightlines aren't good enough.
Yeah, you don't get enough good sightlines. You don't have any high ground. Like on Viaduct, you have the cliff, you have China, right? You have so much high ground up there as well as a sniper, which obviously helps immensely. On Bagel, the highest ground you can get on is the little room next to the point as a sniper. That's it. That's what you can get. And obviously you're a sitting duck in there. Like, that's where you get your best sightline, but you also are seen from everywhere and can easily get spammed, and there's about 3 doors that enter that room, so you're not going to have an easy time staying alive. So sniper don't work on this map. It's not really something you can make work easily. What does work on this map is a ton of aggression through that central area, right? I love seeing it. There's the 2 tall walls both sides of the point. You can see a ton of soldiers just sending it in deep. There's a bunch of flat ground on the other side, a bunch of low ground. You're going to be seeing a lot of that. A lot of boyfriend bombs, I think.
Yeah, like that, and then also I expect to see like soldiers switching sides. There's basically the 2 side rooms and the center, and you don't have enough players to hold all of them properly. So a huge part of this map is trying to bait the other team into taking fights in an area where you have more people than they have. So, for example, if you see one soldier in one room, and then you can send a soldier and a scout in there and fight him and pick him off before they can do anything about it, then that's a win for you. And all of a sudden you're threatening to go behind and bomb in that way. Or, you just have position on them. You can spam really well onto the point from up there. So it's all about just not getting caught out and catching out the other players. And again, you don't have enough players to hold every area properly. You can't just say, you hold that, you hold that, you hold that, and then stick to it. It's not going to work out. So it's a very dynamic map. Lots of movement, back and forth, switching sides. And so far
lots
this
of flanking.
Season, yeah, and actually Silentis got picked off a lot by Inso and Hods. They really seem to just be bullying Silentis at some point during the last map. So if they can keep that up, they can actually have a really good shot at winning some really good fights there and giving their team the advantage. So yeah, definitely that's something I'm going to keep an eye on. And I will say, it just in general, I feel like it was this season at least I saw MANDEM play on this map, and they were really good at just
Yeah.
winning the fight in the side room, where they would just jump a soldier in from the side, where it would catch someone by surprise, and then they did win that. It's really nice stuff, and I think that is how you beat Witness Gaming. You just catch them out.
Yeah, like, as much as we've been gassing up how great of a player Boulder is, that Inzo Hans flank, they are very in tune. A lot of the matches they play, that flank creates an unbelievable amount of space for MANDEM to work with. Like, time and time again, you just see either of them slipping in so far behind, getting away with way more than they possibly should reasonably able to get away with. And if they can do that against Witness here as well, which is obviously going to be a tall order because you're going up against your best contestant, still, if they can keep Syl on lockdown, if they can shut down Ixie as well, those flanks are going to be probably what keeps them in the match here, especially on a map like Bagel, where flanking is very easy and very, very productive.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, right? Because you can sort of see the entire map when you stand near the point, right? Like, you can see both of the flank, but you can't quite cover them properly. And there's also a forward hold that sometimes you really need to work to break it. It's just when the demo man stickies the left side through the big wooden door, that's the good area to kind of push through. And yeah, with those stickies there, it can be pretty difficult to go through without forcing too much. I expect that might be the biggest problem for MANDEM, because Witness Gaming are really good at these forward holds, especially when it's one of these where you don't have to commit in super deep to actually pull it off.
It's certainly possible. If you'd have to give us a scoreline by the time Bagel is over, when the dust settles in 25-30 minutes time, however long it will take, what is it gonna look like?
I'm expecting like a 3-1, 3-0 victory for Witness Gaming. I think I'm just a Debbie Downer. I think Witness Gaming, they have a point to prove, and they're going to try and prove it real hard.
I agree. I agree. From what I've seen so far, at least on Gully, they were kind of dominating this matchup a little bit. Unless MANDEM have been scrimming this map nonstop, have incredible strategies that Witness are not aware of, that they can whip out on a whim here, they're going to have a hard time stabilizing truly well. Even if they get around, Witness are going to just come back and immediately whip out 3 of them, and then it's going to be over. It's going to be the lower bracket for MANDEM, and it's going to be a guaranteed final spot for Witness. Either way, if either team manages to beat Four Friends tomorrow, though, they will certainly meet again in the finals. I think it does. Like, no matter the outcome tonight, I'm almost certain Four Friends can't really contest either of these teams, not to be a downer on that one.
Yeah,
so
we're going
they
live
will meet again.
Here, so I know. Yeah. And Fancy was trying to work out with Domo to meet in the skybox. I assume just both equip the katana, jump into the skybox, meet in there. Let's see what happens. Okay, that didn't happen. What a surprise. It's just going to be a normal mid. Yeah.
I can't believe we've been lied to. These guys lied to us. They're not going to jump across the point immediately. What the hell? Well, I guess they're going to have to wait a little bit longer for that. And it's just a little bit of spam. This is a bit slower than it would be on Viaduct for these first mid-fights, as there's a bit more distance to cover, there's a bit more cover in general. And finally, with the point being contested by Witness, MANDEM are slowly going to make their way forward as well and try to, well, fight this a little bit. Hans and Pappy trade on the flank effectively, as finally, maybe, perhaps, something else can happen. Nope, they're just continuing to spam each other down. Nobody's dying, everybody's just living on a sliver of HP. Both makes have their Ubers ready as well before the point is even capped either way. Domo finally gets taken down as Syl bombs in deep behind, and Thomas tries to chase out whatever he can of the combo, almost killing Fancy, but just not getting away with it just yet. Inzo gets picked off though. Thomas traded on the other side immediately as well.
Here comes the bomb in from behind, so Lentis is in. Oh, doesn't get onto Pickles. Nice serve there from him. And they're actually going to cap it out here and MANDEM first. That was a very slow, spammy mid. And both medics, they're alive to tell the tale. But right now, MANDEM, they're holding this point, and they're going to try their best to just make sure to delay the recap for as long as they can.
Yeah, both medics still have their Ubers in play as well. Neither really being pressured enough to have to use, neither really wanting to do much unless Pickles wants to just have Boulder run in ahead and get a bit of flashing out. So even though they used early, the Ubers are gonna fade at around the same time here, and it's a better positioning for MANDEM to follow up on. They do lose Inzo on the backlines. They do lose Hans and KN as well, trying to bomb in, actually. Okay, I'm gonna eat my words because immediately they have to back out of there. Fancy's trying to Hail Mary send something into auto, and that's not gonna work either. So there's the point flipping, but at the very least, they got 45 seconds off the clock.
Yeah, let's see. We are having witness. They set up this forward hold with the stickies on the... I don't know what to call the barn door. Is that a good... I don't know what the call is actually for this side. You see Hans is waiting around the corner. They're going to jump in the soldier, second soldier through as well. That's probably going to be enough to just force Domo to walk out of here. But Inzo being taken down here on the flank by Poppy. That's very annoying because now Poppy, he could theoretically walk in behind and come in on the flank. Oh.
He's
Yeah.
diffing that flank, matter of fact. He just takes down Hans as well, wins that battle quite handily. And even though all that happens, MANDEM still managed to bully their way into some ground here. They still find aggression onto the point. Boulder barely getting saved by his medic Ubering him here, trying to spread as much damage as he can to force as much flashing as possible. But the Ubers will fade. Thomas will be the first to fall at the tail end of it. And there is the MANDEM aggression across the point as well, seeing if they can get anything else off of it. Pappy just trying his best to block for a time there. But ultimately the point does flip, even if they're ahead on the timer now. And probably will be going forward, considering, yeah, MANDEM don't really have much to block with, huh? Yeah, okay.
Both teams are just so disciplined not to go over the point. They don't want to overextend unnecessarily here. So the point is kind of switching sides really often because you do have the spawn advantage. Soda's going to jump in behind here. So Lentis doesn't even try to go for anyone. He just wants to be in behind. And he's going to succeed in that. Hans says, that's a good idea. I'll try that one as well. He doesn't quite make it in there, but he's actually winning the fight on the flank against Poppy. He eventually does get cleaned up, but he caused so much havoc here that his team actually managed to cap it out while that was happening.
Yeah, but they do lose Fancy in the midst of it, and even if they're gonna use their Ubers here, it's probably gonna be so much better for Thomas because he just bodies Boulder into the ground. Gets Pickles as well! Right as the Uber is faded, the autos was still just on him for a slight bit longer, and MANDEM immediately have to just give up the point, get their points taken away again as well, and back into another forward hold for Witness here. They're just holding this down very, very aggressively.
Yeah, they don't quite have Domo in the position to get the good stickies in forward though, so I don't think it's going to last for very long. Solentis again though winning this flank fight. It just seems like they're not really able to hold on to the flank there, and Solentis gets another kill in there, going to give his team a one-man advantage. And the team is just, they're moving forward. I think they're just waiting to get the respawners and then just lemmings in here, because every single like trade they get, that will favor MANDEM, as they do have the respawn advantage.
Yeah, as slight as it may be, they do not have the Uber ad right now, unfortunately. And, well, there it comes. Otto's just going to try to send Domo across the point with that Uber. They don't catch anything with it, though. I don't think it got forced, so that was just an Uber they tried to play. But MANDEM, very cautiously, we're already way out of there. Pickles has his Uber now, and they're going to try to pressure this point because the time is ticking for Witness. They got 10 seconds left on the clock. You got to get on that point now if you're MANDEM, and you got to control it for the next 100 seconds. Otherwise, you're going to be in for a world of hurt, because Witness just have to basically step on it and they've won. There's not a lot going on that clock anymore, so they gotta hold this as best they can, MANDEM. They have to maybe even use their Uber here to try and accomplish exactly that, but obviously Otto is way out of harm's way, so he will get out of this with an advantage, and they only really find Domo with the Uber as well. They're losing players left and right. KN, Inzo, there goes Pickles. Nice little rocket by Pappy to clean that up. Thomas and Ixie walk in as well. And there you go. That's everybody but Hans taken down, and the first round goes the way of Witness.
Yeah, just a really strong DM fight by Witness, taking it there. Just really well-timed aggression, gonna just move in as a team, take the first round there. It was very back and forth. It was quite, like, not that action-packed, really. It was very spammy mid overall, and just in general, the fights being very cautious overall. Let's see if we get some more aggression coming into the second round when they kind of felt each other out a little bit.
Yeah, and both teams know a little bit at least of what to expect now going into the second mid-fight. So again, they're being cautious for the time being, but the point has been unlocked, and there's cap time being put down by Witness. Solentis immediately bombs across, just goes behind. Hans is going to try to cut him off. or at the very least, keep him at bay for the time being. As the rest of the team fight across, Hans does the exact same, mirrors it, and actually gets the kill onto Otto that he is so looking for. Beautifully done. That is what they needed. Now they just got to keep Pickles safe, and he is very much out of there. He has escaped the brunt of it. There's still a bit of aggression coming in, obviously, from Witness. They do manage to get that first cap off the tail end of it as well. But now they have to contend with a full Uber and a full-on MANDEM team trying to claim back what is theirs.
Yeah, they're going to get this recap for sure. Otto's actually pretty far out here. They could definitely jump in fancy if they wanted to. Soda's in the skybox, see if they can get onto Pickles. Pickles is going to get forced here. Everyone's just in. Otto is out, though. So that was just basically a suicide play. Really nice job there by Witness Gaming, disguising the suicide play as a forward hold, basically. You know, it kind of looked like the entire team was just holding normally, and then they just jumped on the medic as it was a real fight, but Otto was just out of there. A really nice play here.
Executed flawlessly. It worked out beautifully. Otto's got a nice little ad to work with now. It's not as sizable as it could have been, I guess. Too many people sacked. He didn't really have anybody to build with for a while, but it is enough to make MANDEM quiver in fear ever so slightly. They can't quite commit too much to this. If they can get an early force out of Otto, a little bit of pressure, maybe somebody sneaks in. Kayan and Hans both going down isn't going to make that any easier, though. Fancy gets nuked down by the scouts as well. Inzo tries running in. He gets it! Oh my god! He should not have gotten away with that.
But then Silentis comes in from the backlines, takes down Pickles as well. Oh my god, this is just absolute chaos right now. Both medics getting taken down. And again, this should favor, well, it never favors you to lose a medic, but like Pickles should spawn earlier and the rest of the team should also spawn earlier. So they can just lemmings out here and recap the point. If everything just goes as normal and they trade somewhat evenly here. They're going to put pressure on it now. Soldier's going to come in now. Silentis in the backline once again, just gets onto that forward medkit. Now he's in an annoying position. And this is pretty interesting. I've never seen a Soldier jump behind quite as much as Silentis is doing. And he gets...
Oh no! Yeah, perfectly done. Juggles Pickles onto the nipple. Ixie just comes in to clean that kill up, and there you go. Even if they grab the point, Pickles is dead once more. Otto is in not much danger currently. He gets skyboxed a little bit, but Fancy can't quite connect the pipe. Kayan is on the backlines as well, but gets shut down by the scouts, and it's only Pickles alive, and he just spawned, so... Yeah, MANDEM are once more not in any control whatsoever. They're down on the clock as well. Even if they were for a second not, they are once more trying to get back out into this. And Otto has that full Uber as well. This is a very tough situation to get out of. Hans does trade with Sil, at the very least. That's maybe a little bit of an opener they could have wanted. And it does break the forward hold ever so slightly. Kayan tries to bomb in as well. Manages to pick up Thomas and actually get the force out of Otto as well. Wow, yeah. Okay.
It was really nice, and it's still an even fight. So they're just going to go in here and just assume that the faster respawners are going to win them the fight in the end here. They're putting pressure on the point already, trying to cap it out. Domo will come in there and block it, but I don't think he's going to be able to stand there for very long. He's not going to be. So Lentis again trying to jump in behind him. He just lands right on top of KN there, who's just happened to be walking out there. So not quite able to get behind like he's been doing so many other times. Ixie, oh sorry, that was Thomas so far forward there. Pickles has the Uber now, and they do actually lose the point, but it looks like Pickles doesn't want to pop it, but he's dropping players. Kane going down, other players are very weak. Hunt was like at 6 HP, and finally, looks like they're going to come back on to recap the point.
Yeah, they are a minute behind, though. They were in a situation last time as well. It's not as little time on the clock for Witness this time, but they are still very far behind. They have to hang on to this point for a while, and their Uber ad is quickly fading as well. And while these exchanges have traditionally, at least so far, favored Witness a little bit more, so... And they're also being very passive on the side of MANDEM, and we're into a pause as well. Everything's going on.
You really thought we were going to go an entire map without a pause? You fool. Nah.
Never.
Well... Yeah, Witness, they're about to capture that. This point actually captures really quickly. I was always surprised. Like, the cap area is super big, and it captures really quickly. So holding on to it can both be, like, very difficult, while at the same time it feels really difficult to cap it. It's kind of weird how, you know, you can just have, like, a tiptoe on it, and it's not going to cap out. But at the same time, you can stand almost anywhere on the midpoint and cap it out. So it kind of feels like it just changes hands super easily compared to other golf maps that I've played.
Yeah, it is a lot of leapfrogging on on Bagel here. The pause is by MANDEM, by the way, so it stands reason to believe that they probably lost this round, and this is a tactical pause. This is a tac pause where they, you know, try to get their sea legs underneath them again and try to actually figure out what the hell is going wrong right now. At least given the current situation, that is reasonable to believe. Maybe they win and then go for a tac pause anyway. I don't know why they would, but yeah, I think they probably lost this round.
Yeah, but you know, what can you talk about in this tac pause? I'm thinking, you know, we've seen Poppy and Silentis both have really good luck with playing the flank area whenever they're trying to bust the forward hold, right? So
yeah.
I'm thinking maybe finding out some way to try and stop that from happening, even if it's like just leaving the flank completely open, just leaving it open. Just let the soldier walk in there if he wants to, and you just go all in on the side, because that way you're not losing anyone on that flank at least, right? You might have a soldier behind you at some point that you have to deal with. Or you can send in 2 players. You can go the opposite direction to try and overpower him and not get overpowered yourself there. As we have this Uber exchange, it's going to be a Baldur solo versus the Thomas solo. This is just the meta right now.
And the point does flip in favor of Witness, though, so MANDEM have to retake it, and that is going to be where it gets a little tough. They do have to hold on to it for a little while as well. Oh, okay.
It's the nice little air shot there. Gonna take a soldier down, but Pickles will end up dying in the end here. So, yeah, we have actually jumping in really aggressively. Can't quite get onto Otto. No, they went in so deep, but unable to get into him. Otto just snaking his way into spawn there. And that's going to be an easy recap coming up with this gaming, as everyone else is basically back at spawn here from MANDEM.
Yeah, the clocks are a little broken. There you go, they have been fixed now. No confusion anymore. It is indeed Witness in the lead for now, and MANDEM have to get onto this point if they want to do something. Unfortunately, we know there's a pause coming up very, very shortly, so they probably will not. We are cursed with clairvoyance this time around, but they are doing everything they can. The Uber comes out of Auto as well, trying to lock down this area, and anybody who still can from MANDEM is trying to scramble to that point. Baldur and Fancy both sending it forward as best they can, but they just get cleaned up, and there you go. 2-0 for Witness, and this is where the pause happens.
Yeah, you're right on the money. It's a tac pause, just like you said. And actually, interestingly enough, they did have 2 players on the flank there, and they did take down the soldier. But then Thomas just went like, oh, we're in the middle of an Uber fight anyway. I'm just going to run over to the flank and clean those 2 guys up. So Witness Gaming, they still ended up with an advantage, even though they lost their 1 soldier on the flank. They still ended up ahead overall. So that's just Witness Gaming for you, really fast at adjusting.
Yeah, they are so nimble. They are so agile. So they can immediately adjust to stuff like that, and it's been working well for them so far. MANDEM, maybe after this tac pause, are going to be a little bit more flexible as well in their play. Maybe they're going to find an answer to this Witness domination we're witnessing, as KN is going to be the first to fall, unfortunately for them. And it looks like Witness are putting down a lot of cap time there as well. It's going to be their point for the time being. And it's going to be both medics sitting on an Uber, ready to try and fight over this point once more momentarily.
Oh, they're going to go in very aggressively through the right house here. That's very interesting. They're going to actually end up trading there. That was a bit unfortunate. Hans gets a little too far away from the Uber, unable to be saved, and as such, probably not going to be able to get much done here. Nice pipe from Domo. Air pipe Baldur inside the house. Not sure if that counts, but Pickles does make it out of there alive. He took the scout Uber out. But not exactly a good situation overall, but I do like that they're mixing it up here. You know, when you're losing, you want to try different things.
Yeah, and perhaps that could have worked. It didn't quite. They just couldn't get the aggression onto Auto, so obviously Uber was going to be better at the end of the day. But now, in this fight, when no Ubers are in play, and the flank is being destroyed for MANDEM, at the very least, they managed to flip the point in their favor, and, well, hold on to it for a grand total of not even 12 seconds. Okay, well, that's a bit unfortunate for them, but they are still very much in this. They have a opportunity here to continue this going forward.
Still behind line.
Slips in, doesn't quite get the kill he wants to, but gets a lot of scary damage onto Pickles there. That could have very much spelled doom for them. It doesn't end up doing that, but it could have, and, well, it's
Do you think Silentis thinks this map is clear-cut? Because you just keep jumping behind.
That's all he does. Yeah, like, for some reason, he just manages to do it every single time as well. Nobody's even cutting them off. He spends more time in the enemy team's lobby than he does on his side. Never mind, what the hell? Otto just eats a pipe for Fancy. Hello? That is what they needed. There you go. Bagels is gonna pop his Uber. They're gonna try to clean up these remaining Witness players as best they can. There goes Ixie taken down. No soldiers behind to deal with for once. Silentis is actually just gonna die to Ponce. And there you go. MANDEM are in control for but a moment, a brief time. And even Papi cannot salvage anything. So there you go.
Yeah, they catch a break there. Otto, he had caught quite a bit of spam there. He was down to like 75 HP, and then just the random pipe gets him there. A really good job there by Fancy. I do think it was mostly him that spammed him down as well. And then a bit of luck there is enough to get them the advantage. They're not doing the forward hold, really. Not very aggressively, but they do take down Silentis. Hans with the nice rockets there. Poppy goes down as well. This is looking kind of dicey. Do they actually want to send players in? They've run it in Thomas behind. But, oh my god, Otto almost gets caught out. Thomas, he needs to work some miracles right now because he is the only player that's in any position to do anything for Witness Gaming.
And surely MANDEM are aware. Inzo's already hunting this guy. He's trying to get that toe out of there as Silk bombs into the combo. Gets a decent chunk of damage to Pickles, actually, who's now in a very rough spot. He actually has the force. He has the force for that one. He eats the spam rocket from Pappy. He cannot hang on to it. Although, he doesn't know this, but Pappy was actually not in position to shoot up another one, so he could have hung on to it. Unfortunately, he doesn't know. He's not omniscient, so unfortunately for them, even if MANDEM are in control of the point right now, they won't be for long. Hunt's gonna try to bomb in, maybe get something done on the combo here, but everybody's already staring him down. He won't get anything besides the force out of Otto, which is a little cherry, I suppose, a silver lining perhaps, but it certainly won't buy them enough time that they would have wanted.
Yeah, it wasn't the best Uber from Otto, though. So it didn't accomplish too much here. We do have the forward hold once again from Domo, very aggressively holding forward, and Silentis again gonna be able to take down KN on the flank here. And I'm kind of wondering what they're gonna try to do here. We've seen so many different iterations of how they try to break out of this forward hold because, again, like you can absolutely make it through. They've done some speed shots with the soldiers, and looks like they're just gonna all in basically on going out, and it's actually worked out pretty well. There is a single soldier in behind. You know, obviously Silentis, that's just where he lives. So they've actually got so many eyes on him, but Domo going down, that's really huge. This is a nice Uber exchange right now going on for MANDEM.
Yeah, they are actually somehow coming out on top of this. Sil gets taken down as well behind. They managed to deal with him, dropping nobody on their own side, and very much so taking back control of the point. Unfortunately, once more, they're 90 seconds behind, so they have to hang on to this for what feels like an eternity in this situation. They need, very much so, to hang on to this for as long as they can, as best as they can. They have the Uber ad to work with. They gotta hold this as aggressively. Make sure nothing is loose. No loose ends, no leaks, nothing. Because as soon as one Witness player gets to do just a little bit more than they should here, it's gonna be in peril for MANDEM. Pappy slips in on the low ground a little bit. Ixie gets taken down in lobby though. That's gonna shut things down perhaps a little bit for Witness. They don't really get what they want out of it. Now they have to back up and heal. Sil gets taken down as well. KN locking out that lobby very well right now. He is a different man.
Dead.
Oh, he's a very different man from the last map. And there you go, Kane is already slipping into spawn, seeing if he can catch Otto, or at the very least, do a little bit of spam, but no. They're hanging on to this. That is a beautiful hold by MANDEM right now. They're doing it.
Yeah, successful forward hold there. Otto obviously didn't have the Uber, so they couldn't do a full-on bust, but great hold there by MANDEM. Gotta give credit where it's due. They're actually gonna bust out through the other side. Kind of catches them off guard, I think. Don't think MANDEM was expecting that, so Witness Gaming, they are now out here, and you know, if Witness Gaming capture this at any point, it's only 4 seconds to recapture it, or the match is over.
They're gonna go for the Uber exchange across the point here. Otto flashing a little bit more, Pickles popping a little bit less, means his Uber is gonna fade slightly later, but they cannot give up this point. They have to kill every player of Witness on that, and they're not doing it at all. They're actually losing their players on the side of MANDEM, very much so, and that is curtains. Just that quickly, the focus by Witness just comes through. The players are everywhere, swarm them from all directions, and there you go. 3-0 for Witness. They have shown us that week 1 was probably just a fluke.
Well, I mean, Domo did say see you tomorrow, so he's expecting them to beat Forfans. We'll see whether or not that holds true. But yeah, Witness Gaming, definitely the better team tonight. No doubt about that. You know, MANDEM, they're going to have to get into the think tank. Well, first, they have to make sure that they don't get rattled too much. They lose all belief in themselves, and all of a sudden they lose to Forfans. You know, we've seen similar things happen before, especially in an up-and-coming team. So first of all, they need to make sure that they don't, lose all hope for themselves.
Yeah,
And then
that would
after
be
that,
unfortunate.
yeah. But then after that, they need to figure out how to try to approach this Witness team because they are very difficult to deal with. Let's look at some logs, shall we?
This is a pretty telling story, to be honest. Thomas, not going as crazy, but 23 and 11 is still pretty good. Boulder actually having a crazy KD, and the damage out of everybody. This shows like just how much of an aggressive map this is. The damage out of everybody on the server right now is kind of nutty. Fancy hitting a funny number damage is always good to see. I'm sure he's gonna be happy about that one, even if he lost. That's a good number to have as your DPM. But yeah, like that shows the aggression that you get on this map. So much spam, so much aggression, so much damage being dealt, and yet not a lot of people dying to it.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, the damage to kill ratio is super. Like it's super high damage to kill ratio. It's quite interesting to see. It was very spammy. Both teams didn't want to overextend. Like the only counterpoint to that is Silent just living behind lines, which is pretty interesting because I don't feel like most people think of Bagel as a map where soldiers just go behind lines that often.
Yeah.
That's more like a clear cut thing, where you just have the entire massive skybox and really conveniently place medkits all around on the behind lines. But yeah, like I do like that Celeste just jumped in and got those medkits and then he was in behind lines and could cause a lot of rockets. Sometimes it backfired a little bit, but mostly it was really good.
Yeah, I like every time I was watching Sil throughout that entire map, he was either currently in the process of jumping behind or he was already in Mandem's lobby. I don't know who picked this map, whose choice it was. If Mandem picked Bagel against Witness, they were way too confident. they probably did not expect this, and I guess they haven't fought a team where they just had to deal with a soldier consistently every time he's alive, basically sneaking in behind like that. Even if Sil didn't accomplish much and he was shut down eventually, just having to deal with a threat of a soldier behind you 24/7 is such a thing on the brain that you have to always deal with, and it probably spreads you a little thin at the end of the day. One little slip up and suddenly your med's dead, right? So you got to be really careful with that.
Yeah, and just also, it's one of these maps where you want to be able to retreat and pick up a medkit and then go back into the fight. It's sort of spammy, as we were talking about. But if Cylinder's just back there camping the medkit, then you can't do that. So it's actually pretty smart. I like it the more I think about it. It's just a matter of can you actually get there. You need to have really good timing to make it through because you do kind of have to jump through the middle area where everyone can see you, right? Like you're just jumping straight through the middle of the map. That's what you're doing. So if you just do it right away, you're just going to get murdered by everything. Yeah, it takes a really good player to actually make it behind that consistently and that well and that unhurt and be in that kind of an advantage. So yeah, it looks really good, but maybe it's not as simple as what we're making it out to be.
Well, either way, Witness have secured themselves, at the very least, a second place. They are in the finals for tomorrow. And Mandem have to go through the lower bracket. They have to work their way through Forfence tomorrow, and then back to back, a couple hours later, try to take on Witness once more. Obviously, they could just lose to Forfence. If they're not doing their homework, and if they're going to be distraught up now, which I highly doubt, considering how keen that team is, how keen they are as players. But they got to do their homework. If they want to go up against Witness again tomorrow and actually have a chance of winning, they gotta do some work. They gotta put the work in. They gotta see if they can actually have some form of repeat of what we saw in the regular season. Because if they don't, then Witness is winning another season of ETF2L. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah, you're going to be casting that tomorrow at 5,
No.
right? 5 CET.
No, I will not.
Oh,
no.
I thought you were casting that. My bad.
No.
But it definitely starts tomorrow on
yes.
teamfortress.tv at 5, just like we had today. We have the loser bracket final at 5, and then we have at 21 we have the grand final. So definitely make sure you tune in. If you have any shout outs, Cerny, you can do it right after I mentioned that I still have a demo call open for season 20. No, sorry, it's summer 2023, season 45. I don't know, man. I can't keep up with this. I'm too boomer. I don't know what it's called, but there's a demo call still going, and definitely get your track submitted pretty soon because I think I'm gonna make it pretty soon. I feel like a short, clean video this time around.
Yeah. Well, there you go. All I have to say is look forward to LAN coming up, I-71. It's just a couple of short weeks away. We've got the TF2 dedicated gaming zone, so you don't need to bring a PC. You don't even need to rent one. You can just show up, and as long as there's a free PC for your team or whatever, you can play. You just need an Insomnia ticket, so check out LAN.tf, LAN in chat. JMax has already done it. Look forward to that. See you in Birmingham in a couple of weeks' time. That's all I've got to say. Other than that, yeah, see you tomorrow, I suppose.
Yeah, see you then.